So here we have a new 2023 Chevrolet Malibu in the RS trim level. And this one comes in the upgraded mosaic black metallic on jet black cloth interior. And our powertrain consists of a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder mated to a continuously variable transmission. And word's going around this is going to be the last year of the Malibu, which is sad. But as we get to the front end here, halogen headlamps. And I really love just the gloss black and then the aluminum there, really good look. And I do feel like GM could have saved this car, because I know a lot of people that actually love the Malibu, especially me owning two of them, 216s. I wish they would have kept going with this, or maybe even made an electric one. But I guess time will tell. But here we have the 18-inch aluminum wheels that come on the RS. And over here, the door panel, we do get power windows, power mirrors, window lock there, then our power door lock controls here. And a pretty good sized map pocket cup holder. Headlamp controls. And then there's our power driver seat with power lumbar support. And let's just go ahead and hop in the driver, or the back seat here, excuse me. So one of the things I liked about owning this car is I could adjust the seat in front of me like it is now for someone 6'3" like myself. And then I could actually fit adults that were a little shorter than me with a little shorter legs back here very comfortably. And even with this kind of space in the middle, it makes it a bit more comfortable than having your knees in the back of the seat like this if you were having to sit back here. But still impressive room for this kind of car. And then with this one being an RS, we have a 12 volt down there instead of the 120 plug that you get in some of the higher trim levels, which are basically non-existent now, which I hate. Let's go ahead and check out this window sticker. So I mean, for only $27,000, you get quite a bit. I mean, lane keep assist, an 8-way power driver seat, wireless Android Apple CarPlay, and then you're still getting 35 miles per gallon on the highway, which you could probably beat. But one thing I've always liked about the RS as we get to the back here is being able to have that spoiler on there, which they actually did a really good job on. And then having the dual exhaust tips there. It really does make a big difference as opposed to getting an LS. If you care about the look of your car, I would definitely recommend that over an LS and just spend a little bit more money. But always had a decent sized trunk space, which I appreciated. I'm going to show you how you even get even more space. We just have a fuel filler here. We can just snap the cap closed. But when the seat up front is up far enough, have even more space to run from the back all the way to that front seat. And then to put it back up, very easy to do. Just slap it back into place, as the seat is quite light. And then here's our front passenger seat, which is going to be manual. But like I said, for the money you get, I just wish they would have put LEDs in this car. But other than that, I mean, a really good car for the money. But I have to have LED headlamps, which I'm sure is an easy swap because I've seen people do it. But I would have liked if GM would have put a little bit more money into it and just made, especially on the RS, you could have charged another $1,000 and had LED headlamps on the front and then LED taillights on the back. I would have paid for it. But there's our 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Let's go ahead and hop in this driver's seat. So I really like having the leather wrapped steering wheel. That makes a huge difference to me as opposed to that plastic or vinyl one. It just feels so nice. And this is the one I had an LT with leather, Malibu, and then I had a Malibu Premier that had a little bit more padding. But the LT, just having this black leather wrapped steering wheel makes a huge difference. It feels really, really nice. So over here to the infotainment system, we do have AM, FM, Bluetooth audio, and then we also have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility, Wi-Fi hotspot. I know the music was on. There's our backup camera with guidelines that turn as we turn the steering wheel. We have a little rainwater on there from earlier or yesterday. Then we have an auto stop here. We can toggle that. Hazards. And then down here, fan speed for our climate control. We can set where the airflow goes, typical, and then temperature here. And then hidden underneath the radio, we have a USB-C, USB-A, and then an aux input here. And then we also have a 12 volt. Little storage there. And then for our shifter, we just hit this button behind, pull down, reverse, neutral, drive, and then low mode. And we can manually shift in low mode here. Then we have electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. And then here in our center console cubby space, we just have a little pad down there to keep from scratching the plastic underneath. But you can put quite a bit in there, trust me, I have experience with that. Dome lights here, OnStar controls. And then there's a view of the back seat from up here. I don't know if I touched on, I love having the clothes hangers there to hang up shirts and whatever. And then you still have the handlebar here for the front passenger. And then there's our glove compartment, owner's manuals. It's okay size. I don't like how they made it, but it fits quite a bit in there. And I think it's an interesting setup having this kind of cloth here. It looks cool, but just having that with the dash and then above the glove compartment, it's kind of interesting. But I do like how they continue that all the way throughout. And it makes me appreciate it a bit more. But over here to the steering wheel, we have our lane departure, lane keep assist toggle there. We have our cruise control here. We can adjust the collision alert for our forward collision alert using that button there, and then traditional cruise controls here. Voice recognition, mute, and then we can use these 4 arrows and this check mark to go through our middle part of the gauge cluster. And then behind the steering wheel on the left side, we have our radio station favorites or trackless controls. And then behind the steering wheel on the right side, we have our volume controls. Auto high beams, we can toggle there. Blinkers, windshield wipers. We can adjust the intermittent level. So, and of course we can pull this back and have the windshield wiper fluid. There's our push button start. Finally, here's our key fob with remote start. And that's an added option on this RS. But next we're going to go ahead and take this Malibu RS out on the road for a quick test drive. So I've complained about the CVT in my other Malibu reviews since they got rid of the 6-speed with this engine setup, but if you do a lot of traveling for work, which a lot of these cars are bought for that, to commute or to like do sales or whatever, traveling across country, this really is a good setup because it's really just, it focuses on fuel economy as opposed to performance. And that's why you're able to get 33 or 35 miles per gallon EPA estimate on the highway. And then I think you get 27 city. And like I said, it's not as fun to drive, but it still has decent pickup. And like I said about the LS Equinox, I like that this RS has the forward collision alert, but also has the forward distance indicator as well to make sure you're a safe distance from the vehicle in front of you. And then even having that lane keep assist is really nice as well. And like I said in the Equinox review, the lane keep assist is not the best, but it's there when you need it, which is hopefully never, because hopefully you keep your hands on the wheel, but it only works sometimes. But that, along with the auto high beams, which like I said, I would get LEDs, but it really does give you quite a bargain for the money. The only thing I wish would have come standard on this would be blind spot monitors, because I think you can always use those, but there's the auto stop that came on again. But it's not necessarily a necessity in this car. Blind spots are not too bad. And then what I really like is, this used to be the upgraded screen in the newer Malibus, and it's nice to get this on the RS standard. See if I can get rid of that glare. And there's the auto stop again. I love that it comes on whenever the vehicle is stopped for the most part. Of course, with the climate controls off, because it does come in handy. Especially 10 days before Christmas in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, there's going to be a lot of stop and go traffic, especially because I'm out at rush hour as well, which I try not to be. Let's give it a little throttle here. Yeah, driving out here just makes less and less sense the closer it gets to Christmas. But coming down the roadway here, one thing I've always liked about my Malibu in particular was just how smooth the ride was. I had the LT and the Premier, and even with the Premier having those bigger 19-inch wheels, it was always such a smooth ride. It just kind of floats like a Buick does. But just love how this car drives all in all. Now, I do wish, like I said, that they didn't get rid of the Malibu, especially Premier, because that was, as I got older, I really aspired to having a Malibu Premier. I wanted a CT6, like fully loaded platinum, but I didn't have 100 grand to spend on a Cadillac. So being able to get a Premier, like a pre-owned one, that was like the benchmark for me. And I love that car. I put so many miles on that car in a short period of time. And the only reason I traded it in was to get my Tesla Model 3, which that was before, of course, I traded it in for my Mach-E. But that was just a great car. Fuel economy was great, even with the 2-liter. And the few times I ran premium in there, I really couldn't tell the difference because the car was so fast compared to the 1.5-liter I had. But I'm sure you had a little bit more power running the premium. But it was just a great car. The features were great. I love that sunroof, having the navigation. The Bose sound system was pretty good. So I wish they didn't get rid of these, but like I said, we'll see. Maybe they'll bring it back as an EV, which would be awesome. I would definitely buy one. But with all this being said, that's going to bring me to the end of my review of the 2023 Chevrolet Malibu RS.